I tried to make it as accurate as possible, but in order to create the dark rooms, that was a little hard. I had to go in and make the entire dungeon dark. I didn't really like it that much, but it's the only way I can make it work properly. Okay, this one's really complicated. Alright, so here's the thing. Desert Palace has multiple entrances. In order to make it work, I had to recreate the entire Desert of Doubt. So you actually have the entire Desert of Doubt here you can explore. Oh no, not Desert of Doubt, it's Desert of Mystery. The Desert of Mystery is the one playing to pass. Desert of Doubt's Forth of Adventures. The Desert of Mystery, I had the entire Desert of Mystery here, and just makes things easier. I started from here, so that way you're not too far away. But I include every single item in this game in this level. But they're all through a series of optional challenges. You still want to complete the main dungeon or do it. But like here's the main entrance. You have a hole there that leads back to the rest of the area, the world map. You can't go that way, of course. In order to make sure you can't go here yet, I put a bomb here. You can't go in anyway, but I put a bomb on the outside just to make sure you can't go in. Just so that way it's more limited. And up here, I made it so you can hookshot across this section, just so you could link to past. There was no water in the original one, but I put water here for a reason. The reason being is that if I put holes there, you'd fall down into the dungeon itself. I didn't want that. On top of it, I also put the flippers in that cave up there because originally it was a hard piece. I put flippers in that cave up there, and I want to make it easier to get back across. So you don't have to go through the entire desert in order to get back there again. Also, I expanded the edges of the area out so it doesn't look like you're inside a dungeon itself. It looks like you're on an overworld map. So you can see pretty far out there, and this texture here is actually a ground texture, but it doesn't look like it. It looks like it could be like a roof texture. I thought that would look well for like a mountains in the background. So I wanted to make it work like a mountain essentially. And that was originally you can't get up here, but this is just to represent the pedestal where you hold the mouse sword up. So that's what I did there. Again, you only start here. You go straight into the dungeon itself. There is no book, of course. So I just have a little push puzzle here. You push 2 blocks, and then these things reappear in the correct spots. Now, here's another thing too. These entrances are way too close to one another to actually work properly. So you can't have the full dungeon laid out. That was the biggest problem with this dungeon, is that I had to have long paths to go into those entrances to make them work. I thought about doing 2 floors again as well, but the 2 floors thing did not work with this dungeon very well. Oof. And he's got way longer range than they once did. Ow! Still hit me. Alright, so for these guys, I put quicksand and made use spiders. But the spiders can move, so it doesn't work quite the same way, but the quicksand still works. If you stand too long, you'll get sucked into it. These guys I use for the Igors. They'll work the best, but whatever. I do the best I can here with the materials I got. I love all the triggers though. The triggers are so cool. So this right here these are supposed to be the pillar torches from the original dungeon, and that one in the upper left corner has a key sign. You have to use the boots to push into it. I can't do it anything otherwise, so I decided to have you push this block, and yeah, you push the block, and doing so activates and moves. It basically moves the pillar over, and it's supposed to knock the key off. Basically, that's the idea. That you bump into it and knock the key off. Now this room is still a trap room. You go in here, you have to fight 5 enemies in order to get out. There's nothing else in this room, so there's no reason to come in here. After playing a lot of Randomizer, I quickly realized that this room there's nothing in this room. Originally what I was gonna do is I was gonna have the entrances come out naturally and just had to put a new spot, but it was not working out for them lining up properly, so I just created long narrow paths where they were. See, down here is the eastern exit. But I had to have you go down and down a long path. And up twice. Up twice to make it work. Because we basically went underneath the other floor. And now we're on the main floor again. And there's nothing else up here. All you do is fall down. So I made an optional side quest here to get all the rest of the items and includes bombs here. This basically is an optional side quest. You use bombs to go and get something else, and then use that to get the next item. There's no reason to do it, it's just there for fun. I love how it triggers you, but I wish there was a few more. Like, I wish you could replace an item with another item. And, I also wish that there was, like, a tree you could step on, it activates, so you step on again, and it deactivates. I also wish you'd give items to a single enemy. There's or you know, another thing too. Push a block. Push a single block in order to activate a trigger. Why can't you do that? Why can't you make a block trigger something? Like, that's one of the most classic things that Zelda is to have. Push a block and you trigger something like that. But they don't have that option here, unfortunately. You can push a block onto a switch and that'll do it, but yeah, there you go. Same switch. I know what they do. You can't put pots. You can't put pots onto a switch. It's kind of sucks that there's like certain limitations that there's kind of like, why can't you do that? But it's not a huge deal. It's like something I wish that they could implement. But so I love the stuff that's here already. So there's a lot of potential here. I made this the leaf. The main reason that you can't do there's no like way to lift items. I mean, you can lift pots, of course, but you can't like have an object you can lift that's heavier. It requires a glove or something. So I blocked the path off with holes instead. And also, you need that to get these too. There's no fairies, of course, so you can't have fairies flying in there. So I just have hearts in the fairy top rooms. And again, you go up here, and it takes a while to load because I made this map huge. That floor is huge. And then you go down a long path. And now you can go back to the world map again. Yep, so here you are. So that's just the only reason I did this, so you can once you roll off the ledge, you have an easy way to get back up. Because I like so here, this is basically jumping off the cliff. But if you go inside a place and come back out, you can't go back up because that block already set. However, you can hook shot off a cliff. So I like the idea of having the hookshot spot there for the hookshot, where you get the hookshot. And the hookshot's here because there's no bow. So, plus I want an optional aim in this area. This is normally a heart piece. So I add this spot here in August Cave to give you another option aim, the hookshot in this case. Look, it's Agana. I wish you could put NPCs in this game too. Like, the demo dungeon, or basically like the preview dungeon, it had NPCs in it. Again, this is not in the original area. I only included it here because if you go all the way back there, it's going to have to get back here again. So I add that just as a little bonus for those who want to stick out the optional items. Now that will take you back down to the lower level too, so you need to be careful with that. You have to have the leafy across that gap because you can't hook it all the way across. And this block is this rock is staying here, just like the original Link to the Past. You walk up to it, you basically throw it out of the way. That's the idea here. You push it out of the way or something. But it just triggers me to walk past it, so because I can't have you be able to push it, unfortunately. Now, here. Again, I wanted this to look like just like the original game, where you can do your hookshot across this gap and get this doorway here. Normally you can't. You wouldn't. You're not supposed to do it that way. You're supposed to use the mirror, but I add optional areas here so you can actually implement these extra caves for the optional items. Like Slivers in this case. You don't need to get all these items, but if you do, then it's just for fun, really. And because it's water, you can swim back across. Unfortunately, what I did not do is, because I made the desert theme, I could not make these rooms here use the tiles. So instead, I made the cracked walls, and you get spit by fire. That's the closest I can do. Not all of our hearts, but there are 3 hearts, and there are 2 hearts in this room. Ow. Ow. The biggest problem I found with this game is that the enemies, I think, are harder than Link to the Past. So, that's what makes it a little harder. Even though the same designs as Link to the Past, the enemies make it a little harder. And there's 4 hearts here in case you need them. Now, you can't light torches, so I did this instead. You just push 4 blocks in order to make it work. And I can't make the wall plus like either, so I just have the sandcastle basically. Alright, so we're back in here now, and this is a new thing. I added in, here's the thing. We're currently on the second floor. We're on the third floor. The egg is on the first floor. I don't know how to move the egg off the first floor. So you have to fall down anyway to get back there. So in order to accommodate this, I have this room here. You basically just fall down. You have to fall down to get back to the first floor again. So in this room, I made out quicksand to actually use quicksand for something. And yeah. So we're using quicksand here, and you actually have to fall down in order to get the egg too. But I only include one of these guys because he's actually a lot harder than the original ones. I think the originals take like 6 hits and there's like 3 of them, but it's a big room, so I think it'd be too hard. Also, that door, the idea is that it's a one-way door only. Once you enter the room with it, through it, you lose. The reason why is because if you don't defeat the boss, you don't get the key. You have to defeat the boss to get the key. You fall down. You walk up here and and here's the egg. But if you don't get the key, you can't get in. You have to defeat the boss. You still have to defeat the boss anyway. You go back up here, go down, and the door shuts behind you. These two switches trigger that door, but you can't press both at the same time, so the door always stays closed. That's basically just it there. Alright. Okay, so that was the Desert Palace. Like I said, for this one, in order to do the overall map of the areas, I had to base map with the entire desert out. I added all the optional caves and everything. I made those the path that led to things you don't need. So that's like an extra little thing you can do if you want to, but they didn't really help you that much anyway. Bombs might. I don't know if they will help or not, but they might.